Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel Biodiversity and Conservation. I am Subhalakshmi Raut from Ambika Prasad Research Foundation, Odisha, India, and we are continuing our UGC NET examination series for environmental science subject. And this is 38th part of Unit 3 Environmental Biology. And today we are going to discuss about Ramsar sites. Now, it's not particularly written on the syllabus, but it's there. It comes under biodiversity. Wetlands are a group of um, ecosystem. It's a place or area where the land is covered with water and like marshes, ponds, edge of lake or oceans, delta at the mouth of a river. All those are wetlands and it comes under biodiversity, and we are continuing our biodiversity about biodiversity, what are the types and what are the threats to biodiversity and how we can protect them. So Ramsar sites um, is a wetland site designated to be of international importance under the Ramsar Convention, also known as the Convention on Wetlands, an international treaty signed on 2nd February 1971 in Ramsar, Iran, under the auspice of UNESCO. And this was done to protect the wetlands and the species present in those wetlands. So it's a protection um, way or a solution how we can conserve our biodiversity. So let's start. And the um, wetlands are very important part of our ecosystem. It provides us with so many benefits, like wetlands are the areas where water is primary factor controlling the environment and the associated plant and animal life. They occur where the water table is at or near the surface of the land, and where the land is covered by water. So, and wetlands are the vital link between land and water. They help to mitigate the problems related to floods. They protect the coastlines and build community resilience to disasters, reducing the impacts of floods. They absorb pollutants and improve the water quality. And wetlands are critical to human and planet life. More than 1 billion people depend on them for their living, and 40% of the world's species live and breed in wetlands. They are vital source of food, raw materials, genetic resources for medicines and hydropower. They play an important role in transport, tourism, and the cultural and spiritual well-being of the particular area. And they provide habitat for animals and plants, and they have a wide diversity of life, supporting plants and animals that are found nowhere else, but we can find in particular wetlands. So, and also the Ramsar Convention has taken into account those wetlands that protect a particular species or a group of species. So, their objective is also to protect wetlands as well as the biodiversity. So, what is the objective of Ramsar Convention? Its mission is to conserve and to uh, wisely use all the wetlands through local and national actions and international cooperation as a contribution towards achieving sustainable development throughout the world. and they want to conserve and sustainably utilize the wetlands and stop the encroachment and loss of wetlands. So this treaty, the Ramsar Convention, um, is not a legal binding treaty and is also not a part of UN and UNESCO conventions. The scheme was actually initiated to lay down some policy guidelines for conservation management of wetlands in the country. And they actually wanted to conserve the wetlands, recognizing the fundamental and ecological functions of wetlands and their economic, cultural, and scientific and recreational value. So, the Ramsar sites are those which are protected under the Ramsar Convention for the conservation and sustainable use of wetlands. And they also established that the wetland should be selected for the list on account of their international significance in terms of ecology, botany, zoology, limnology, or hydrology. As I said before, that some wetlands are taken under Ramsar sites because of a particular species are present in that area. For example, if a vulnerable or threatened plant or animal species is present in that area, then the Ramsar Convention tries to protect those species through conservation of the wetlands by taking them into Ramsar sites. So we are going to know about some Ramsar sites in our state, Odisha. But before that, there are actually 2,500 Ramsar sites around the world, and it protects about 257 million hectares of wetlands. Means, can you imagine so huge amount of land are under wetlands, and it's a very big boon to Odisha that we have so many good diversity of um, lands. Like we have forests, we have wetlands, we have rivers. All those things are present in Odisha, so we have to conserve them. And in the world, there are about 172 countries under the Ramsar Conventions as signatories. Now there are about 80 Ramsar sites in India as of January to, to 2024, and it covers or it protects about 1,326,677 hectares of land area. So, and according to WWF India, wetlands are the one of the most threatened of all ecosystems in India. So there are so many Ramsar sites to protect the wetlands in India. And here in the picture, you can see the area from where some of the Ramsar sites are present. Like we have Surinsar, Mansar Lakes, Hukera Wetland, Vular Lake, Hingam Wetland, Salbug Wetland from Jammu and Kashmir. Then we have Bees Conservation Reserve, Nangal Wildlife Sanctuary, Harike, Kanjli, Ropar Wetland, Keshopur, Miani Community Reserve from Punjab. So there are so many Ramsar sites you can see from here. Now we have Ramsar sites in Odisha. We have 6 Ramsar sites like Ansupa Lake, Bhitarkanika Mangroves, Chilika Lake, Hirakud Reservoir, Satkosia Gorge, and Tampara Lake. We will study about them one by one. And In Odisha, where the um, wetland coverage that are under Ramsar Convention as Ramsar sites are 351,849 hectares. Now, Ansupa Lake. Ansupa Lake is 231 hectare freshwater lake and on the left bank of Mahanadi River in Cuttack district, Odisha, India. And it's 40 kilometers from the city of Cuttack. And the freshwater lake is situated amidst the Saranda Hills and enclosed by bamboo trees and mango trees and acts as the shelter for many migratory birds in the wintry weather season. And there are boating and fishing facilities available here. And the lake has been designated as a protected Ramsar site since 12 October 2021. And we can see some birds, migratory birds like black-winged teal and red-crested pochard and um, purple swamp hen. Those type of birds we can see there in the winter season. Now, next Ramsar site is Bhitarkanika mangroves. Bhitarkanika mangroves of 65,000 hectare area is a mangrove wetland in Odisha, India, covering an area of 650 kilometers in the Brahmani River and Baitarani River deltas. And about 62 mangrove species are present in Bhitarkanika mangroves. And the in 1975, an area of 672 kilometers square was declared the Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary. The core area of the sanctuary, with an area of 145 kilometers square, was declared Bhitarkanika National Park in September 1998. And Gahirmatha Marine Wildlife Sanctuary, which bounds the Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary to the east, was created in September 1997, and it covers the Gahirmatha beach and an adjacent portion of the Bay of Bengal. And the Bhitarkanika mangroves was designated as Ramsar wetland of international importance in 19th August 2002, and it is famous for its saltwater crocodiles and olive ridley sea turtles. There are also other species found in Bhitarkanika National Park like Indian python, king cobra, black ibis darters, etc. And the olive ridley turtles nesting at the Gahirmatha beach, along with the saltwater crocodiles, are the key species of Bhitarkanika mangroves. Now, the next Ramsar site, Chilka Lake. Chilka Lake is covering an area of 116,500 hectares. It's a brackish water lagoon spread over the districts of Puri, Khorda, and Ganjam on the east coast of India, at the mouth of the Daya River flowing into the Bay of Bengal, covering the area of over 1,100 kilometers square. It's the largest coastal lagoon in India and the second largest lagoon in the world. And the lagoon actually hosts over 160 species of birds in the peak migratory season. And Nalavana Island is the core area of the Ramsar designated wetlands of Chilika Lake. And the Irrawaddy dolphin. Irrawaddy dolphin is the flagship species of Chilika Lake, and the lake has been designated as a protected Ramsar site since 1st October 1981. And here we can see some birds like white-bellied seagulls, purple moorhen, jacana, flamingos, egrets, grey and purple herons, Indian roller, storks, spoonbills, brahminy ducks, shovelers, pintails, etc. And Chilka Lake actually is the home to the only known population of Irrawaddy dolphins in India and one of the only two lagoons in the world that are home to this species, and it is classified as critically endangered in 5 of the 7 places it is known to live. So it's a big achievement for Chilka Lake to conserve the species here. Next is Hirakud Reservoir. Hirakud Reservoir, covering 65,400 hectares of land area, is located behind the Hirakud Dam of Sambalpur district in Odisha. Its shoreline runs close to Debrigad Wildlife Sanctuary. It's a home to rare resident and migratory birds like common pochard, red pochard, great crested grebe, etc. during winter, making it one of the major aquatic bird congregation areas. And the fishing communities also depend on the wetland to make their living. The sanctuary shares about 100 kilometers of shoreline with the reservoir, and the lake has been designated as a protected Ramsar site since 12th October 2021. Now the next is Satkosya Gorge. It was also designated as a protected Ramsar site since 12 October 2021. It covers about an area of 98,197 hectares. It's a gorge in eastern Odisha, India, carved by the Mahanadi River. The gorge is located within the Satkosya Tiger Reserve, which is an United Nations protected area. And the Satkosya Gorge was established in 1976 as a wildlife sanctuary, and the golden sandbars of the river Mahanadi are a favorable wintering ground for migratory birds. And for the first time in October 2016, Indian skimmers were noticed wintering in the southern part of the Satkosya Gorge. And the Indian skimmers actually come in huge flocks to this um, gorge. Now, Tampara Lake, uh, it has been recently added into the Ramsar site and designated as a protected Ramsar site since 12th October 2021. It's a 300-hectare freshwater lake situated on the right bank of Rishikelia River near Chhatrapur of Ganjam district, Odisha, India. It's 23 kilometers away from the city of Brahmapur or Parampur, and the lake is instrumental in flood control during the monsoon season. And there are boating and recreational facilities on the site for tourism. It is actually one of the largest freshwater lakes situated within the basin of the river Rishikelia, and the fishermen depend on the lake for their livelihood, while its catchment is a fertile land for cashew plantation. And on the periphery of lake, the authorities have introduced recreational activities like boating, water sports, and trekking. And the Chhatrapur town also uses the lake water for their drinking purposes. And now this lake is also being used for water sports. Indian Army's Water Activities Training Center. So this wetland is an important source of livelihood for the local population and also provides water for agriculture and domestic use as well as for providing passage for local transportation of goods. So wetlands are the treasury of natural biodiversity. So the protection of the nature given and driven ecosystems is our duty, morality and ethics. The declining trend of the biodiversity is quite alarming, and the loss of the flora and fauna um, around us is actually unhealthy sign for our future. And when the wetlands were considered or prioritized as Ramsar sites, it was a good signal for protection, maintenance, and restoration of our environment. So we should all visit these treasures and also protect them. Um, and we have to promise not only ourselves but also influence others to not to pollute, degrade, or disturb these ecosystems because the survival of every living organism on earth depends on the continuance and existence of the wetlands. So thank you. This is all from me today.